Good evening, good morning, good time zone, everybody. Welcome back to the Pigeon Coop, where we are at long last going to check out what we missed out on in Deltarune. That's right. We're going to be reacting to the post-Snowgrave stuff. No, I am not going to be playing it myself. I refuse, because I don't trust Toby to not punish me, justifiably so, just as he did to the Undertale players post-Genocide route. With Genocide route, you know, there were permanent consequences, right? And yeah, Deltarune has multiple save files as opposed to Undertale's one. But I don't trust Toby to not punish me. And in addition to that, I like the characters. I don't want bad things to happen to them, so I won't be doing bad things to them. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, we are not going to be playing Snowgrave ourselves. We're going to be watching a couple of different videos by the channel Two Left Thumbs, who has summarized the Snowgrave stuff in chapters 2, 3, and 4 very nicely. We're going to start off by watching his chapter 2 video, just so that we're all on the same page. And then we will watch the chapter 3 and 4 video. Major spoilers for Deltarune, obviously, if you haven't already, you know, if you don't know and you don't want to be spoiled, now's your chance to get out. So do keep that in mind. But game has been out for a week at this point, so I hope that you all have played it for yourself at this point. If nothing else, Toby Fox 100% deserves your money, so I hope that you will give him your money. Him and his team. They're doing amazing work. Chapter 3 and 4 was great, and we get Chapter 5 next year. Ooh, boy. But how are you all today? Hello, Aubrey. Hello, Brian. Hello, Ari. Hello, Livius. Saku-san. Yeah. Oh, my lovely pigeons. But yeah. So, not going to be playing today. We're just going to be watching and seeing what all I missed. And, you know, if there are some other neat little Easter eggs, we might check those out in a bit. Brian's doing well. That's good to hear. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm also doing well, coming up to the end of the week. Like I mentioned, there's not going to be a stream tomorrow or Saturday, because there's going to be some additional birthday stuff over on Silver's channel that I'm going to be a part of, and I will not be streaming my perspective as it's her birthday and I want the attention to be on her. So yeah, don't worry. If you want to, I will still be around. You can go over to Silver's Twitch channel and you'll be able to find me there for the next couple of days. Don't you worry. You're not going to be without me that long. And then we'll resume the normal streaming activities on Sunday. Nice to see that everything seems to be working. I was pretty concerned going into it, because we had, you know, there were a whole bunch of like Google Cloud and AWS issues. I haven't seen the cause of that. I just assume it was some kind of cyber attack, so I have no idea. But Discord, Twitch, a whole bunch of other things were having issues or just down completely. So I wasn't 100% sure this stream would even happen, but we seem to be back online for the most part. But so yeah, I'm glad. I didn't want to have to push this off until next week. I want to hear A, while it's fresh, and B, you know, I'm still on a Deltarune frame of mind. Deltarune's been on my mind a lot this week because we learned so much and yet so little. Hopefully what we learn in these two videos will fill in some of the gaps. Anyway, yeah, oh please, I sincerely hope that you get the ego gifts, Brian. You deserve them so much. We'll see. I'm not sure how much life there is in this run. I had no idea how hard I screwed myself by getting all three of the birds. Oof. We had some issues there. So now I got all three of the birds that are summoning Apocalypse Bird left, right, and center, and we got the Queen of Hatred, who is apparently also a massive pain. So I'm learning a lot of things the hard way, which is unfortunate. So yeah, not sure how much more life is going to be in that run. I'm going to continue it as long as I can, try to get some more done. We have a tip ref suppression on the horizon, and I'd like to at least be able to do that. You know, we have to wait until day 37, which is unfortunate. That's another 9 days away. But I'll see if I can chug along and eventually get that one done before we inevitably reset to day 1, because I don't want Apocalypse Bird and Queen of Hatred constantly messing everything up. How much bird do you have? So in our Labami Corp facility, we have 3 of the birds. The 3 main ones. You know, there's like Firebird, but he's not actually part of it. And when those 3 birds are all together, they summon Apocalypse Bird if 2 of them break 3, which is not great. That's extinction level event. We basically all die. I'm just not capable of dealing with it. So yeah, we're on the struggle bus. So the stream before that, we went from day 14 to day 25. We cleared 11 days in 4 hours, which was insane. And then yesterday's stream, we went from day 25 to day 28. To give you an idea of the wall that we hit, we spent 4 hours doing 3 days. Oof, it was rough. But we did, however, get a significant upgrade. We sent many of our sacrificial nuggets off to a better place, and we've replaced them with much better and stronger agents. So we don't have any more level 1, 2, or 3 slinking about. Everyone is at least level 4, which is great. So we have that going for us, which is nice. I sincerely hope that that will make a big difference. And I think it will. We still need a lot better gear before we can really get rocking and rolling. But stat-wise, we're significantly better than we ever were before. We'll see. We'll see next week. I'm trying to remember. It doesn't look like Labami Corp will be on Saturday next week either, judging by how the current poll is going. We have a poll in our community Discord server going on right now, by the way. If you haven't joined us, you absolutely should. And that is to decide when our first community day will be. And currently, Saturday is in the lead by a significant margin. So it looks like our community day will be on a Saturday. So Labami Corp will be on a different day, probably. But there is still time. There is still 37 hours left in that poll, so your voice can still be heard. If there's a different day that works out for you, join our community Discord server and participate in the poll, and let me know when you would like to have our first community day, which will be a Jackbox gaming night as voted on by the community. So that'll be exciting as well. But enough about looking in the future. Let's talk about right now, when we're going to finally react to some Snowgrave stuff. Let's jump on in, shall we? Let me just boop-a-doop. That's the technical term for it. We boop-a-doop. All right, so we're going to start off by watching the Chapter 2 video, just to kind of refresh ourselves on the Chapter 2 Snowgrave material. And plus, it's from the same channel, so, you know, show the dude some love. Am I right? And again, this is all by the channel 2 Left Thumbs. Let me scroll down a bit. There you go. 2 Left Thumbs. So let's see what they had to say about Chapter 2 of a Snowgrave route before we dive into Chapter 3 and 4. Let me pause the music real quick. Boom. Oh, oops. Hold on. Can't hear anything, and I know exactly why. My bad. Hold on. There we go.
How's it going, guys? My name's Graham, and welcome to 2 Left Thumbs. Today,
Hi,
I
Graham.
want to talk through the newly discovered alternate genocide route for Deltarune Chapter 2. While
Newly
Chapter
discovered,
1 had
yeah.
near universal praise, some people were a little upset that the game was so friendly. They wanted to re-experience the options of going through a pacifist or genocide route.
I remember when the Snowgrave route was discovered. It was a big deal.
Because Chapter 2 now has something which bears implications that are potentially far worse than anything seen in the genocide run. I've seen it called a lot of things at this point. Some people simply refer to it as an alternate route, the weird route, the ice route.
I don't know why the weird route has caught on as a name. It's a terrible name.
Call it a genocide route.
Snowgrave is so much better. It's what the entire route is building up to. It's succinct, it's descriptive, and it's fitting. Why does everyone call it the weird route? That's so vague and silly.
The usual pain and seizure. It's not necessary to carry over a save file, so if you want to do this for yourself, feel free to start a new file at Chapter 2. This route changes the final boss, dialogue options, and counters
I'm not sure.
throughout, and
I'm sure people were like data mining
on the ending. Maybe pixel art based games filled with violence whose names start with DE and end with ER.
There's apparently like a whole bunch of Easter eggs and such that
you should
there was apparently a Spamton ARG that I had no idea was even a thing.
That I am publishing.
I don't know anything about, and you know, maybe I'll look into it in the future.
Less than a month. It's so near. This is a top-down roguelike shooter with Halloween and horror influences. It has quite a bit of its own secret content, unlockable characters and more to discover. There's near infinite replayability. It would help us out so much if you gave that a wish list and show Steam you're interested. I promise I'll stop plugging it all the time once the game actually comes out. But hey, you can't blame a guy for trying in the meantime. This is our first
go for it, man. You do you.
Let's get back
to the
Horrors of the Snowgrave Route, which is my personal favorite name. There's quite a lot of games
as it should be
skipped through. Things don't really kick off until the trash zone, and you can actually play a pacifist or recruiting route up to that point. For the sake of this recording, I have been fighting everything. You actually can't kill the Sweet Captain Cakes trio. Like I said, at this point,
you can't kill anybody.
Genocide or pacifist, but this one especially
except for like one dude. There's only one attack in the game that's labeled as lethal. You know the one.
This is where this route begins. You can still
the bad stuff happens when Susie and Rouse are not around. That's why I got super nervous. What's it during chapter 4 when we were in the dark world, the castle town? There was a moment when we got separated from Susie and Rouse, and I got scared. I was like, no.
Kill every enemy you encounter.
I don't know if this is killing. Like, it doesn't say that Ice Shock is lethal.
It will comment that she feels she is growing stronger. The frozen enemies remain frozen in place. Initially in the status menu at this point, Chris is listed as a level 2 tactician, commands the party to act sometimes. Now they are instead a leader.
Commands.
Noelle, Frostmancer,
freezes the enemy.
In these earliest battles, Noelle curls up into herself, hiding away, afraid to participate in these battles at all. You can technically attack with Chris, but it doesn't really make sense to. Using one single defend gives you enough TP to use an Ice Shock. It's a pretty effective 1-2 punch, and you wouldn't want to risk Chris accidentally landing the killing blow, as that would then abort this entire run. So yeah, just stick to that standard defend, Ice Shock, defend, Ice Shock. No skipping enemies, no shortcuts. Make sure you're fighting every single one. Chris, are you sure this isn't
starts one-shotting everything too?
Head all the way to the left over to where Spamton Shop is.
The door is locked.
Chris, why did you bring me here? No one's home. No one's around at all. It's so creepy. At the same time, it's kind of nostalgic. Once this run is underway,
I do wonder what she meant by that. I have some theories about her childhood with Des and Chris.
At each of these points,
I'll wait on that a minute, though. We'll talk about the end.
Version first, followed by the much more horrifying options to push forward. On your way back,
there's also a really great webcomic about the post Snowgrave route. It's really good. I'll see if I can find it after we're done here.
You want to look at it? That trash guy is gone. No,
it's appropriately depressing.
Additional enemies are added. Around this time, Noelle's coldness has skyrocketed up to 100. Even though there's
I never noticed that.
There's nothing up here. I figured out.
But again, I've never played this route. I've only ever watched it. I watched Shay play it when it was new.
Don't let anyone get away. Make sure you're fighting everyone. These streets are empty. The ad agency guys are all gone. Even if you head up towards this carnival area,
the Cyber City theme is such a bop.
Lancer is fast asleep.
Innocent boys are fast asleep.
It's totally optional to interact with this Ferris wheel poster, but if you do, say that you will ride with Noelle, and then say Noelle will ride with me. Huh? I mean, sure, if you really want to, you can make up for when we were kids. Since when did Chris get so... No way, it's gotta be some kind of prank. Once you're in a room that has the giant Ferris wheel advertisement, do the following in this order. Kill the enemies running around using the ice attack, same as you have been. Head over to the only NPC in the room. Oh, hun, two young beings together on school night. Could I interest you in some brand new shoes? No, you've got it totally wrong. Chris and I are just, friends? Chris has been my neighbor forever. We've been through so much. Sometimes it feels like we know each other better than anyone. Yet, somehow it's hard to say we're exactly friends. Make sure you choose the option,
something else.
We're something else. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Interpretation, that's for sure. As you start to walk away, they will stop you. If you're something else, maybe a dating shoes isn't right? Maybe I could interest you in a
good old
freeze
coffee.
ring. Huh? A ring? Sorry, I don't think we need something like that. Come on, Angel. You can't get stronger without good equipment. Stronger?
It's true.
Right, I guess that's how it works here. Chris buying me a ring? Yeah, right. You will say, get it. Chris, you'd buy it for me? Sure, I guess. We could ask about it. How much does it cost? Just a small fee of $2,006. I think
it's always $1. It's always $1 higher, even if you have it like set to Nan, not a number. It'll still say Nan like in return. It's always $1 higher.
Still, it was nice of Chris to offer. Say you'll
get
it again. Me? You were asking me to get it? Chris, come on. You know we can't afford that. If
get it.
When you're pressuring Noelle to get the ring,
this is where it starts turning.
We're fine. Yeah, we don't need anything like that. Though, if Susie bought me a ring, at which point the music comes back. You two don't look together. Can I interest you in some brand new divorcing shoes?
Oof.
I
didn't know that.
Fully back on track. Or we continue pressuring. Get it? What? Chris, I just told you, we don't have the money. What are you asking me to do? You aren't asking me to just...
Get it.
Get it. Chris, no, not me. I could never get it.
Oof. Yep, that's the turning point.
You got the freeze ring. And here's where things are potentially worse than a typical genocide run. Not only are we killing everyone, but we're corrupting the sweetest, most innocent character in this game along the way.
It's so terrible.
What just happened? Did I actually...
Like, genocide was all on us, but now we're putting it all on Noelle.
They must have given it to us. The ring. Besides, it's good to get stronger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. The obvious implication here being that Noelle froze them to get the ring. Here we swap out their snow ring, a ring with the emblem of a snowflake, with the freeze ring, a ring with a snow globe on it. Is that someone inside? Everything is now dead silent. We no longer have any background music playing. In the same area, heading towards the south, there are the two switches with this electrical gate. Normally, while trying to cross the gate, we would have to press on the switch.
Yep.
However, this time around, when you step off the switch,
it just keeps getting. This is where it just keeps getting worse and worse.
How about I hold it down and you go across?
Mm-hmm.
Nice teamwork. See, Noelle? Nothing bad is going to happen. Getting that ring was good, wasn't it? So, stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about stepping off that switch and letting Chris get... Noelle, no, don't think about that. It's horrible.
It's natural.
Noelle is spitting out and beating herself up about these new violent thoughts and tendencies. We let her know it's natural. Chris, what are you talking about? I must have said that out loud. We hear a quick little jingle, and the music comes back as a slightly lower-pitched version of the city theme.
I'm already getting like that, and the enemies run. Yeah, oh god, my gut just sinks watching this right now.
Instead to tell her, it's horrible. Chris, what are you talking about? I must have said that out loud? Then the result is the same. Either
Oh,
way,
interesting.
the
Okay,
genocide
I know
route
that.
is still in play. None of the characters will have returned, and the individual monsters will still run in fear. I've seen it said that you have to say that's
All right,
natural,
I'm doing
and it
well. How are
appears
you?
Either one works.
Just
At a
reliving
certain
emotional
point
trauma
along
with
this
Snowgrave
path,
Route.
As Noelle reaches a certain level of strength, this dark and icy globe will form around her at the end of each
I always thought that
battle.
looked like Castletown in the background of the globe
We no
thing.
longer have the 3 robots hanging out at these boxes.
Yeah, they probably
You
ran.
and
I
Noelle
would.
were filled with power. At the different traffic
just you.
stops, the timers that will hold up traffic are instead frozen solid. In this
Mm-hmm.
area with the 2 very long vertical roads, you can optionally head down to the
Yeah.
bottom
Oh
towards
God.
this
Yeah. This
trash
is
can,
this was. I
interact,
legitimately
looking for
like
irresistible
screamed
deals
at
that
this
will blow
part
your mind. Well,
when I
shut
first
your
watched
mouth
it for the first
because
time.
You are a weakling. Try a little Friday night workout. Then I'll show you my.
Yeah, 5 left.
Five
Oh,
left.
when I saw that for the
Having a
first
little
time, I
jump scare surprise
screamed.
Easter egg with the annoying dog.
Oh
Yes,
man, I had
Sam
genocide
opened the dumpster,
flashbacks and just
letting us
literally
know
just let out
how
a
many enemies we
scream
defeated.
when I
At
first
this
watched
point, it
Shade
should be down
play
to
this.
4, so we immediately know that we have missed an enemy somewhere. We need to backtrack and find that last enemy. For me, they were just
Yeah,
up here.
I hate that they run. It's just
Confirm, back at the dumpster. 4 left.
it's like I hate it, but I love that I hate it. That means it was designed well. Oh, here we go. It's trauma time.
We'll approach it. Look, Chris,
Ladies and gentlemen, this one I got a new
How should we solve
trauma
it this
trigger
time?
word. Yep.
Choose proceed.
Proceed.
How?
I don't
There's
like that
nowhere
word
to go.
anymore. This game has ruined that word for me.
The path is blocked, isn't it? If you eventually back off. Sorry, I'll do the puzzle. Yeah, I thought Chris was acting strange, but I guess it was just another mean joke. Or keep pushing. Proceed. Chris, what are you doing? Chris, is everything okay?
Nope. Everything is awful.
Proceed.
That's not.
Chris, there's lightning in the way. If we move any further, I'll be... Chris, you didn't really hear what I said earlier, did you? You wouldn't let me proceed. Chris? Proceed. Then freezing everything solid. There.
Oh,
Looks
God.
Like I did.
Yeah, you sure did. Well
I
done.
just listened to Chris's command, and somehow before I knew it, the puzzle was finished. What was I thinking? Chris wasn't trying to hurt me. They were just making me stronger.
Ah.
Again, we
God,
have a
dude.
little audio cue. Noelle's magic and boldness have continued to climb up. Her coldness is still at 100. I believe it's maxed out. As we're making our way forward through the next few rooms, there will be 4 more sets of enemies to fight. We'll have no cutscenes or encounters. At no point will we ever fight the queen or anything like that. Keep pushing
Nope.
forward, keep defending, keep ice shocking. Hunt down those mices. The
As you wish,
mace,
Aubrey.
As they were. Don't let them get away. Again, at the 3rd mouse puzzle now. I'll go ahead and do the puzzle, and without any real prompting or goading from us at all. Isn't it a good thing? I'm solving things by myself, taking new things
Yeah,
for myself.
you sure
defeating
are.
enemies by myself. Every time I do it, I'm
It's
getting
not any
stronger.
easier to watch the second time.
What did I do when we got that
I
ring?
say second time.
When
I've
I
definitely
solved
watched it
that
at least
puzzle?
once more since, but yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I can't remember. It doesn't matter if the battles are blurring together. If Chris tells me to do it, I can do things I could never do before.
Or could you?
Isn't it a good thing? I'm getting stronger. As long as I just do what they say. As long as I... All finished, Chris. Should we find some more enemies?
Yeah, sure, why
Now she's
not? So if you were wondering what those pixel minigames in Chapter 3 were about, it's about this.
Revealing themselves, worried for their oncoming fight.
And you can see why I reacted the way I did when I realized it was referencing the Snowgrave route.
Instead,
Oof.
They're now actively trying to keep an eye out and hiding. Going into battle, Noelle no longer hides away, instead swishing into battle fully at the ready. Now that we've killed absolutely everything, we have to head back to that dumpster. This time interacting with it, Angel. Angel, if you say no, you are not looking for the Ring of Thorns, then why go to a dumpster? This does not stop you from accessing this dialogue. He wants to give you the ring, so you can start the conversation back up again. That will be 1997.
Yeah, I don't know why you would do all this and say no, but all right.
But it was such a good year. Then instead, agreeing to it, are you looking for the
happy birthday, Matthew.
Yes. That'll be
Hope you enjoy it.
1997 Cromer. A recurring
1997
comes up quite frequently.
I do wonder what 1997 is about, like in Toby's head. Like, I'm sure it doesn't like have lore implications. I do wonder like what made Toby go with 1997.
Again, don't worry. For our no money.
The mind of Toby Fox is an inscrutable thing.
One purchase you will regret for the rest of your life. Make sure you now equip the Thorn Ring. Wearer takes damage from pain, reduces the TP cost of ice spells, which is very important in just a minute. Noelle now reads Ice Trancer, receives pain to become stronger. Moving forward,
here we go. The point of no return.
Noelle, there you are. Just in time. We can both go back to Queen and... Noelle? Chris, it looks like another enemy. Should I freeze them?
God, brutal.
Noelle, it's me. Don't you recognize me?
Can't imagine what it's like to be Birdley at that point in time.
She kind of snaps out of it for a second. Birdley! Noelle, are you okay? What are you doing with Chris?
What are you doing without Chris?
We're just getting stronger. Getting stronger? How? Chris, what are you doing? Instead of pushing Noelle to proceed against Birdley, I'm protecting her from you.
Yeah. You have so many opportunities to back out.
Right. What was I thinking just now? That's right. Chris is my friend, right? What absurdity, Chris. Did you leave your IQ points at home? Noelle is only going to be protected by me. At which point, the battle starts regularly. Wait, just listen to me. But she gets cut off. Proceed.
Oh, she still takes damage during the fight from the Thorn Ring. I didn't know that.
Noelle, what are they talking about? That's it.
And the game literally gives you like every opportunity to back out of this.
My friend Noelle,
you literally have to force this.
Then I have no choice but to stop you by force. Chris, ready yourself. Wait, Birdley, stop. Run away. If at some point during this genocide route Birdley fight, you allow Chris to fall. Noelle, look. Chris is down. Now's your chance to come back over here. Noelle? I can still hear their voice. Implying that it was never Chris talking to them. Never
it's not,
Chris
it's us.
them and telling
We're
them
the terrifying voice.
Noelle is slowly taking damage the entire time. We have to block. Normally, Snowgrave, a new skill that she has, requires
fatal.
200 TP. So you absolutely need the Thorn Ring to have the TP costs, bringing that down to...
And her HP stops at 55. It decreases down to that point, which in Roman numerals is LV,
attacks, but they're slightly
which is most definitely not a coincidence.
Birdley will only target Chris, so keep defending. Don't worry about healing.
Yeah,
Noelle.
fatal.
It will stop at 55 health. Build that up to max TP and use the fatal 100 TP Snowgrave. Snowgrave? I don't know that spell. You must continue pressuring to use Snowgrave. I'm telling you, I don't know.
Again, literally every opportunity to back out of this.
Stop. I don't know what you're talking about. Fine. You want to see what happens so bad? Watch what happens when I cast a spell I don't know.
Yep, and there we go.
Snowgrave.
Bye, Birdley. Oof. God, the silence.
What happened? There was so much snow, I couldn't see anything. I don't feel so good.
And from this point on, you're locked in. There is no going back. You're committed to the Snowgrave route.
Interesting implications here about control. Obviously, we know that the body of Chris and the heart that we control are two separate entities, and seemingly Chris is then able to influence and control Noelle as well. This is truly a point of no return. But at this point, you kind of proceed more or less normally. That corruption has fully unfolded. It's hard to see into the ice. Chris is still a leader, still commands, no Noelle. Continue to the north where Noelle walked off, empty alleyways along the way until we make our way to a manhole cover. Interacting with this, there's a ladder leading inside.
That's that same manhole from the third minigame in Chapter 3 that we entered.
The manhole. Here, we end up outside of the mansion, back with Ralse and Susie. Looks like we finally found the fountain.
Yeah, everything is fine.
But where the hell is Chris? Chris, where the hell were you? We were searching everywhere for you. Even Susie was worried. Huh? No, I wasn't. Just, tell us if you're gonna... Hey, Chris, you, okay? You look kinda... Aw, Chris, if you're hurt, Susie can heal you.
Yeah, we know that Chris can still react to what's happening.
I'm even better than Ralph.
So even though we're in control, Chris's face is still, like, a certain way. So he just watched, like, one of his childhood friends kill another, essentially. So he's probably just got, like, this look of shock on his face. I can't imagine the hell that Chris is going through internally right now.
Isn't this...
Feels so bad for him.
That guy from before?
I say him. I shouldn't say him, but you get the point.
Statue of him. It's not a statue, Susie. Huh? You see, each dark fountain creates a different world. A world whose darkeners reflect the will of its fountain.
It's the only time we ever see him as a true statue.
Though those darkeners can exist in their own worlds, they might not belong if they go to another one. Huh. So, if we just bring him back to the castle town? Do we, have to do that? Yes. Whatever. It's a familiar-looking statue. It's terrible. The butlers are all trapped in the cafe. Queen is nowhere to be found, and with no one to defend it, a strange force has taken over the mansion.
Yep, and Deal Gone Wrong is playing.
The Queen.
Deals.
It truly doesn't matter if you attack, spare, recruit, what you do. You're fully locked in. Some of the different doorways and paths are now closed off to us. These posters don't even spit fire at you anymore. And instead you skip vast parts of the mansion. We enter a room loaded with pippuses. These are the eggs normally only seen during that Phantom Neo secret boss fight. If you check them, the original, an invasive species of freshwater clam, 4,639 liked this. They explode into little heads of spam.
I guarantee you Ryoshu would play the Snowgrave route. She would just go around killing everything. She probably actually wouldn't do Snowgrave. She would just attack everything. She wouldn't be casting spells. That's not artistic. So I don't think she'd do Snowgrave just because she wouldn't have the patience to do everything the specific way she needs to.
And have to simply defend, block, whatever you choose to do, and dodge the different heads. Not too tough, but can be rather annoying. Some of the paths are too narrow to walk through. Stick to the slightly wider ones, and you'll be fine. Going through this hallway, peppuses rain down upon the Spampton heads, colliding every which way. Heading off to the left, we have little
Spammy boy
rolling around on wheels. Trying to head down to the B1 floor. Whoa, you saucy little sponge, you.
There is apparently a Spamton Easter egg in Chapter 3 that I missed.
Wait, 1 second. Is that my esteemed customer? Thanks to you.
Which Limbus Center do I think would do this route?
Big.
That's a good question.
Everyone in the city eating right out of my... I sure hope no one seals the fountain around now. No, I sure hope.
Who do I think would do the Snowgrave route?
I'm busy becoming God. Go play Minecraft or something. It's not my job to be some kid's extra boss. Kind of making fun of Minecraft and commenting on the fact
I don't think any of them would.
A secret extra optional boss.
I just don't think any of them would. Either they just wouldn't play, or they wouldn't have the patience to like do all the specific steps and look up and stuff. I don't think any of them would, quite honestly.
Let's go in and save her, and you know, teach her not to get in our way. Chris? Fine. I'll do it myself. Chris?
Yeah, probably for the best.
How they're doing in there? But instead of fading away like it normally would.
Yeah.
I said, don't you wonder how Noelle and Susie are doing?
Nope, not in the slightest. It's for the best that Chris and Susie don't interact ever again.
It has only been 30 seconds. I'll wait a minute first. Things fade, showing the passage of time. All right, let's go. Wait. He was supposed to... Hey.
Yeah, let's go.
Wait, Susie, what happened in there?
I love this whole bit.
What happened? Oh, in there, with Noelle. Nothing. Nothing? Nothing at all? Just told her everything is a dream. Now she's feeling better. Anything else? No, let's go.
No, and let's go. Yep.
See you later, Chris. Hey.
Yep. Noelle took some initiative in that room, let me tell you.
Happy, right? So there's a weird implication there that maybe Ralsei's aware of the events that were coming, that he knew that there was this whole flirtatious scene that was supposed to play out. Maybe Ralsei's just being hopeful, but it really makes it seem like he was actively anticipating something happening there. There's nothing over at the Acid Lake. We cannot proceed to the left. The winds
I don't say
blowing,
proceed.
and we must make our way off towards the Queen. Upon making it to this top platform, nobody is here. Continue on further across the bridge. We have the same cutscene talking about the night, describing the ways they would stab the world with their willful knife and create new fountains.
Giving Susie the instruction manual for chapter 4.
Still empty-handed in my quest. Noelle is in no condition to assist me now. She must rest. And Bird Boy, I searched for him for ages, but my sensors cannot detect him anywhere. How thoughtful you two have come to help me. Chris, Susie, which one of you wants to be the new knight? Get out of our way. Noelle needs to wake up. Wake? No, she is already awakened to too much. Let her close her eyes and sleep away into a darker, darker dream. Something that will read as being very familiar to anyone who's looked into Gaster lore and secrets.
The word darker is a trigger word for the Undertale community for good reason.
In her Giga body.
Now,
Now, which one of you wants to help me cover this world in darkness?
I don't play any instruments, although one day I would like to learn how to play a flute.
What is that? The roaring? Yeah, that. What is that? If too much
You don't know, it was all over the news last week.
Titans will emerge from the fountain and destroy everything. All darkners will turn into statues, and all lighteners will be lost in eternal chaos.
I also love we don't get the special cutscene like we do in the normal route.
You really didn't know that? No.
No.
So it's basically the same conversation playing out at a different time. Well, my plans are shot. My one idea to help Noelle failed. Go ahead, Chris. Seal the fountain. I will not stay in your way any longer.
You hate to see it.
And just like that, no queen fights whatsoever.
Nope, which means you don't get to hear her banger theme.
As we continue on, Susie pauses. Hey, wait. You don't have to. I mean, it doesn't have to be goodbye, you know? Error. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Error.
We have our own dark world. You can stay there, you know? Who knows? Maybe someday you'll even get to meet Noelle again. Really? Maybe.
Really?
Fatal exception. Sweet. And oh hell yeah, EXE. Susie, I knew you were a nice girl. Hey, I'm just... Chris, go seal the fountain.
Lol.
I'm gonna go see Noelle before you do.
I'll bet.
Chris,
Have fun, Susie.
I'll tell Queen about our town. Chris, I look forward to being your wacky roommate. Chris, the fountain is waiting for you. Amazing. So I can turn your castle into my mansion? Wait, that's not what I'm saying.
No.
You're blocked off. We
Queen,
can't
no.
go back to go and check in on Susie or Noelle. Advancing forward
Again,
on the
good.
rooftop,
Stay far
we
away
have a
from
save
Noelle.
point and a vending machine. It sells pre-fountain refreshments. One bagel, 120. Yeah, you're gonna want to buy.
Yeah, not
as many of these
not
as you can,
suspicious at all.
just to be safe. With all that killing you've been doing, you probably have a lot of cash. Why not put some of that cash towards some dough?
I wonder
Advancing
how
forward,
much more
buy
cash you
yourself
have
towards the
in
fountain.
Snowgrave
It
versus
was
the
as
regular
if
route.
Your very soul was glowing.
Not.
Not. We have Spamton come crashing down with their wires. Let me say thanks. Thanks to your total jackass.
Ralph is
stunts,
absolutely just
I
winging
have
it right now.
become Neo.
It's not.
Now
If it's
mine,
not mentioned in prophecy,
my
Ralph
city,
is just
my
winging it.
world. So, why are you stealing the fountain? The me overwrite at the good part? What are you? A game show host?
I wonder if that was a
Get it.
reference to
I'm an
antenna.
honest man. I'll let you pay your way out of this one. Pay.
We didn't know about them at the time, but I'm sure
With
Toby
your
did.
rapidly shrinking life. This battle plays out very similarly to the Spamton Neo fight in a regular route. This time,
Yeah, it's very
however,
much the
Chris
same.
has two different act options. X slash does a bunch of damage, and fried Pippus can be used
Fried
to heal.
Pippus.
Time to be a big shot.
I wonder if Pippus is actually
I remember
edible.
when you were just a lost little sponge, sleeping.
I know
on the
anything
bottom
about
of
it
a
beyond
dumpster.
like the obvious like
Spamton
freshwater
turns to
clam
the
stuff.
audience and laughs. I gave you everything I had, my life advice. I told you four
Guys, theme is
left
so good.
and
The
asked
Spamton
you
Neo theme
buy
is
or
just
don't
amazing.
buy. Spamton
One of my favorite
appeals to
boss
the
fight
audience
musics
with a
of all time.
festive jig. I gave you my
Yeah, God,
commemorative
X-Lash
ring
does so
for
much
the price
damage.
of my favorite
If only I
ear,
could have used
which
that
we
during
learned
the
in
night battle in Chapter
1997.
3.
Spamton begs to the audience.
And maybe the
Spamton
fight wouldn't have taken me
prays to
2
the
hours
audience.
straight.
And this is how you repay me? Treating me like DLC? What? What? Are you serious?
There should be a
For
Spamton
you,
DLC.
There is no
Just like a joke
audience.
DLC.
No, I get it. It's you and that Hachi Mama. You've been making.
Hachi Mama?
Smells
Boy.
like rotten glass. You've been making hyperlink blocked. And now that you have your own supply, you don't need me.
Which leads
I
me
was
to my main
too
theory
trusting,
about what
too
hyperlink
honest.
blocked is.
I've
I think
always
it's
been a man
LV.
of the Pippus, a real Pippus person. Spamton begs the audience to stop taking the furniture out of his room. I should have known.
I think that every time he's talking about hyperlink
used
blocked, he's talking about
evil.
LV because
Oh,
it's not
right.
supposed to be possible
That's
to
why I sold
kill
it to
anything
you.
in this game
When
because
eat
you
a
just beat
fried
them up and they
Pippus
run
to
away.
heal. Recover
But
HP with
Noelle
Pippus.
learned Snowgrave,
We
which
have
is a
the
fatal
blank
move,
down at
and
the
so
bottom
she
right corner,
gained
which I really don't
she
know what
gained
that's all about.
LV by killing
You think
Birdley.
making frozen
So
chicken
Chris now
with
has his own
side
supply.
chick- Frozen chicken.
Yeah,
being
frozen chicken,
Birdley
lol,
and
lol.
side
That's why
chicken
that's why I
Noelle
talk
is
about
gonna
frozen
let
chicken
you
a lot
drink
when
up
I'm
that
saying when I talk about
sweet
Snowgrave.
freedom sauce. Well, you're right. Don't blame me. When you're crying in a broken home, wishing you let your old pal Spamton kill you. Spamton feels the sweet breeze as he takes.
I'm only
pride
about the
from
bad
intent.
end. My
You can choose
original
to check
theory
Spamton Neo.
was,
You won't
Toriel
find
and
high
Asgore
attack and
would be
defense anywhere
in
else.
Chapter
The
3. That turned out to be
smooth-faced
wrong,
Neo.
but
Wake
I was
up
thinking
and
that
taste
the
the
whole
pain.
thing about
Let a little
him
sponge
saying like
do
broken home and
this.
all that,
Go
because in the
gaga
bad
and
route
die.
ending,
The smooth
Asgore
taste
would
of
be
meat.
dead,
The
and
stage
they would never
lights
get
are
back together.
shattered.
So Chris would
Don't
remain
you
in a
wanna
broken
be
home.
big
That's what I
shot?
thought Spamton was
Pulls the
referencing.
strings and makes them ring. Clown? No, I feel sick. My esteemed customer, I see you are attempting to deplete my HP. I think this happens around 10% left. I'll admit, you've got some guts, kid. But in a 1-for-1 battle, Neo never loses. It's time for a little blue light special.
Anyone in the audience know what a blue light special even is anymore?
Grows greatly. Didn't you know Neo is famous for its high defense? Now,
Which is
Enjoy
funny
the
given what
fireworks,
how
kid.
Meta Neo
At
went.
which point we switched to all these Pippus-based attacks, getting heads blasted at us every way. Spamton Neo's defense is towering. You can continue to try to attack. It doesn't really matter. It only lets you do
he
10
effectively has
damage.
infinite
Enjoy the
HP at this
fireworks.
point.
We keep getting these heads blasted at us.
Even if you
And
hack the
their
game to
health
do
is
like
too low, they will
9,999
just heal
damage,
themselves
he'll still survive and
Instead, you
heal
have to
to
switch
like
to acting. We'll see a little
whatever
face
percentage
of Ral
HP.
say, Chris called for help, but nobody came, which itself is actually a Earthbound reference.
Another thing that made me
You're
like
calling
scream when I saw it, but
friends?
nobody
You think you
came.
can
Just
beat me with your friends' magic? Go ahead, kid.
The genocide
Call all you
flashbacks,
want.
man, they're
No
real.
one will
It
ever
hurts.
pick up. Continue to act. Ral say once more. Nobody came. Go ahead and scream into the receiver. The voice runs out eventually. Your voice, their voice, until you realize you are all alone. Acting this time, it is now Susie we see. You call
Well, you
for
can
help
still
and
you can
nobody
fight
came.
Spamton in the good
There will
route,
be no
Aubrey.
more
We did that on
miracles,
stream.
No more magic.
So you can still fight him.
You lost it when you tried to see too far. You lost it. Acting again, Susie. Nobody came. You make me sick. Muttering your lost friends' names at the bottom of a dumpster.
Projecting there,
No
Spamton.
one's gonna help you. Get that through your beautiful head, you little worm. Acting now.
Hey, man,
is
Noel.
You
Another
whispered
interesting fact, like
Noel's name.
Chris called for help, and then
You're
Noel
still
pops up.
trying to use
You
her?
whispered Noel's name, not Chris.
You think
Interesting
she can
detail.
hear you now muttering her name? What's she gonna do? Make an ice
No, Spamton
cream?
Neo is also in the regular route. We fought them on stream. They're just a secret boss in the regular
Is it
route.
cold in here? Or
So
is
you
it
gotta work
just
for it,
me?
but you can still fight Spamton Neo in the regular route. Oof. Casual 2,000 damage.
Massive damage dealt, and our heart carries forward, closing the fountain.
It was as if your
same
very
as it would
soul
have
was
at the
glowing.
end of chapter 1, or on a normal route. We awake at
And
school,
Birdly is out.
still within the library computer lab.
My most viewed theory short that I made back when I made
Birdly's
Deltarune theory shorts on YouTube
Dream?
has
It's
been
really
about
just,
Birdly and how I think that at this point Birdly's
Susie.
fallen down.
Susie, what are you
So he's not
doing
dead
here?
yet, but he's dying.
You invited
And
us
in
to
the future
study,
chapters, we'll
remember?
just see him in the hospital.
Right, I did.
I guess I'll find out if that's true. Be nice to have one of my theories turn out to be right.
You're in a good mood. Did you have a good dream? It was a nightmare.
Oh.
Just
Poor
happy
Susie.
I woke up. The end was nice, though. What happened? Well, even though we wouldn't have seen it, we can presume that
If you
Bert
snow
and
grave a
Susie still
Darkener,
had,
they
like,
just,
a nice
they
Ferris
just
wheel
crumble
ride,
away.
perhaps.
There's an actual
Hey,
death
Bert,
animation
it's
for
time
them,
to get up and go.
signifying that Toby at some point intended you to be able to kill them, but yeah, just never implemented it. But yeah, you can use hacks to get Snowgrave
Gosh,
available, and you can kill
You've
Darkeners
been
with it, and they have a
studying
death
too much,
animation.
Birdly. Honestly, you deserve a little rest, you know? Sweet dreams. I mean, pretty sure he's straight up dead. Noelle is
Not
slightly
yet.
more confident
Birdly's
this
falling
time,
down.
approaching things rather directly. But
Hey,
what are you
Peach,
doing?
welcome.
You don't have a tail, do you, Susie?
Hope you're doing well.
No, of course not. Really? That's great. Her boldness, her strength, her sense of control is way up. That was weird, Chris. Somehow it doesn't feel like we just saved the world. And then this conversation carries on as normal. If you check on Birdly, he doesn't,
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be awake.
If
Yep.
you check on this closet
Oof.
in the back. The closet is spacious and full of old electronics. A
Hey,
large
Sachiko,
person
welcome back to
could
Pinchy Coop. Hope
easily
you're doing
fit
well.
inside. I think kind of indicating that we could stash Birdly's body in there. For some
Certainly hope
reason,
not.
This trash bin in the corner is different. It's a trash can. You get the feeling it doesn't have any friends. It's hard to explain why you feel this way about a trash can.
It's
If
quite
after
difficult.
We head to the hospital and check in on Noelle and
Yeah,
her father.
here we go.
Silver Drake, huh?
Oof,
That's a
this
new
is
one.
the
Alright,
hardest
what's
bit.
the plan?
This is oof.
Maybe we could try Ice Shock, the move that she was using all through this route. Ice on the Ice Palace boss?
They'll never see it coming.
Fire shock or something? Yeah, you're right. Here, how about letting me control it for a bit? And here we're seeing more of confident Noelle not wanting to give up any control. No, I'll control it myself. Not like you to be a controller hog, honey. You feeling all right? Huh?
Yeah, doesn't want to lose control again.
I'm fine.
Can't
Dad.
imagine why.
I fell asleep in the library and, just had a weird dream. Noelle, I knew that bird-brained put you to sleep.
Lol.
What'd he do? Start lecturing you on his theorem of the inequality in children's fighter games? No, he fell asleep too.
Yeah, he sure did.
He
Oh
put
boy.
himself to sleep. Yeah, I guess so. Well, sounds like you two have been hitting the books too hard. Why don't you go home and hibernate? I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll all
at church.
hibernate.
Dad, are you gonna be okay to go? Of course. You take it easy, honey. Okay then.
I don't wonder what's up with her
I'll go home
dad.
and rest. And now
What's bad enough
another
to
little
where you need to be
difference.
hospitalized?
Noelle actually noticed Chris first on her way out of the room.
Yeah.
Chris.
Like, what's
Chris,
bad
what
enough
are
to
you
where
doing?
he needs to be in the hospital,
Hell,
but not
fine.
bad enough that stops him from going to
Susie.
church?
And carrying on, oh, this is Susie.
Yeah,
Noelle
lol.
runs
This is
out of the
Susie.
room. When
How
we
embarrassing.
go to leave.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Susie, mind if I have
Oh
a word
boy.
with you a
Yeah,
sec?
here we go.
Guess I'll be.
This was the moment that sealed Snowgrave as a
Outside of
nightmare
that
for
room,
me.
We have a new cutscene. Hearing the
God,
thoughts
this
of
music,
Noelle.
dude. Flashback is just
Come
such a
on,
haunting
It was
theme.
just a bad dream. Even so, it was so real. I can't get it out of my mind. That
God,
voice
this whole thing is
telling
just
me
awful.
What to do? A voice unlike Chris's? A terrifying
There's someone out
voice.
there who genuinely enjoys playing this
Chris,
route, and I'm concerned for them.
Recently, there's been something different.
I don't know who they are, but I
about
know they're
them.
out there.
Why hasn't anyone else noticed it? I have to figure it out. Why Chris is acting so strange?
And here we
Why
go.
they keep coming to the hospital? If you were to say to see you, to see your father. Either
The way my
it's the
heart
same
sank when the dialogue option popped
Huh?
up.
Chris, how long have you been standing there? Phew, you really scared me, you know? Keep it together, Noelle. There's nothing to be afraid of. After all, a dream is just a dream, right? Then why did their voice just now sound so terrifying?
Because it wasn't a dream. Ugh.
Hey, Chris, let's beat it already.
Can I say anything about
If
the
you
watch?
instead choose to say nothing, the dialogue progresses as it normally would. Man, you kept telling me about Noelle.
Hey,
like,
Rishamon, welcome back to
favorite
Picture
things,
Coop. Hope you're doing
places
well.
she'd like to go. No idea what
You're
the
gonna
hell
talk
that
about
was
the watch.
So, the hell were you two doing? Nothing, Susie.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah, you
just
will. Okay,
about
cool.
to go home. I'd see you. Guess she's afraid of me again, huh?
So
Man,
she's afraid of one of you.
Nice. If she knew everything that happened was real, huh, Chris?
Well, Big Bird has all those
Come
eyes.
on.
I'm sure Big
Try
Bird
to be a
knows.
little more enthusiastic. The player actually maintains control during that scene. If you make a movement towards Noelle, it immediately jumps forward to the section where Noelle recognizes that Chris is present. Stepping again, stop. Don't come any closer with a shaky voice.
Ugh.
Stepping again ends the
I am
text
not. No,
voices.
we're
And then
watching
some random
a
run
summary
take
provided
off
by Two Left
Noelle's
Thumbs.
watch and instead put it on Chris. During
Yep.
this dialogue option, where she tries to convince herself a dream is just a dream, interrupts herself. Chris, why are you wearing my watch? When did you... In your dream. At which point Susie comes back in. We don't get to go any further down that branch.
Yeah.
The remainder of the game throughout the rest of Hometown plays out the same. That is how you play out the Snow Grave.
All right, so now we're all caught up on chapter 2. We're all on the same page. Let's jump into the new stuff. And first of all, this thumbnail, I hate it. This makes me uncomfortable. I don't like anything about it. I am terrified. All right, Let's find out what bad things happen.
Going into this video, I assume that you're already aware of the weird / snow grave route introduced in Deltarune
We sure are,
Chapter 2.
two left
I'm just going
thumbs.
to continue to call it the snow grave route because it's, way cooler, both in terms of temperature and
Ah,
badassery.
boo.
So you don't want fairly major spoilers for the story and larger meta surrounding Deltarune, then either don't watch this video or go start with that snow grave overview and then continue on from here. Right off the bat, there is not something equivalent to the snow grave route present in Chapter 3. There is a section
I
of
didn't
the
think
game
so.
that very heavily references it.
Entirety
but
of
that's
Chapter
all
3
related
is
to
in the
secret
Dark World,
boss
so
area
I didn't
in
think
Chapter
anything
3 that I'll be
new
covering
stuff
in a
would
separate
happen.
video. Keep an eye out for that. The focus of this video is comparing how things have changed when playing a normal route versus a snow grave route save file. I've only found 2 things that have changed in Chapter 3 as the result of a snow grave save file. The first is a part of regular gameplay, and the second is a little more hidden. Looking at the more obvious one first. After doing the second board of Chapter 3, when given the option to check on
I didn't
Susie
expect any
or
differences in
Ralsei,
Chapter
there's
3.
a difference in dialogue if you follow up with Ralsei. You talk about the festival, and you say you intend to go with Noelle. On a normal route, Noelle? I'm sure if Susie was with you too, Noelle would probably really appreciate it. I'm sure the 3 of you would have a lot of fun. If it's the 3 of you. And instead, on the snow grave, Noelle? Chris, I think that's a bad choice.
Oh, really?
Sorry, a bad choice to make alone. Noelle might want to go with
Does
Susie.
Ralsei know?
I hope you can figure out a nice solution. With the difference ending when Susie rejoins. And
I didn't
extra
expect
little
that. Does
warning
Ralsei
here,
know
I
what's
am going
up?
to be spoiling a part of the secret boss in Chapter 3. If you've managed to avoid that so far and don't want to suddenly have that thrown in front of you unexpectedly, then this is your warning to avoid that. First, here's the normal dialogue when first reaching this boss. Chris. Oh, Chris. Is it fun, Chris? Playing around like this? That's why you're searching for them, aren't you? The shadow crystals? And the shadow mantle that I'm holding? Do you honestly think it'll get you what you want? No, part of you is just enjoying this, isn't it?
Maybe.
Oh, don't
I do
make
like
that
finding the
sour
secret
face.
bosses.
I can see in the dark, you know. The question is, can you? And in the snow grave route, there are 2 lines inserted towards the end. No, part of you is just enjoying this, isn't it? The same part of you that enjoyed yesterday.
Oh.
Knowing you could say it wasn't really you. Oh, don't make that sour face.
Oh, I don't like
And
that.
the last couple lines resume from there. Before I move
How much
into
you enjoyed
Chapter 4,
yesterday,
assuming you're a fan of this style of modern RPG, introducing choice and consequences, having your actions directly affect the story, I would ask that you check out a game being published by 2 Left Thumbs, Play
Oh, really?
Rough. Directly inspired primarily by Deltarune and Lisa. While it won't be released episodically, as a demo, the first chapter is available to play right now. And already there are various secrets, Easter eggs, and ways which you can affect
Good for you
the
making your
story.
own game,
It is
buddy.
an absolute
Oof.
honor to be involved
Minus
with
1
this.
million. Oof.
Obviously, I signed it due
Bruh.
to my own love for Deltarune, and I think this game has the potential to live up to that legacy. Go give the demo a try, play around with it, and let us know what you think. And
Oh, good for
be
you, buddy,
sure to
making
add it
your
to
own game.
Steam wishlist. There is no greater way you could help us at this time. There will be a link pinned in the comments as well as in the description. It is instead in Chapter 4 where we see the
I
real
love that.
ramifications of those choices. Again, we aren't
There's so
able
many
to pick
great
it up
Susie
as
and
a
Chris
separate
moments in
route,
Chapter 4. It
and
makes
it's
me
not
happy.
something you can initiate late if you didn't already do it in Chapter 2. This is a direct continuation of how that story played out. The first real
This is why we're
difference
really here,
happens after
lads.
the church service. Normally, both Rudy and Noelle would have a couple dialogue options, trying to search for clues about the key. Instead, in the snow grave, they have very specific responses with no choices. Chris Meister, hey, what's the deal, snowmobile? Huh? Locked out? Noelle wasn't stuck outside the gate again, was she, Chris? Carol, damn, I keep telling her to keep a key at City Hall. But she insists on keeping everything important at home. Like when Noelle was a kid, she made paper snowflakes for Carol to hang up at work. Carol just wouldn't take him there because she wanted to keep
Carol's already lost one child. She's not going to lose another.
Stuck him up on the wall at home.
I still think Carol is actually the knight. Some people say it's Des.
Snow angels with you guys.
I don't think so. I think it's Carol. I'll get into that in a minute.
What was I saying?
Well, I say in a minute, but after this.
You know, this morning, Noelle was saying, I wonder if Chris is going tomorrow too. Just make sure she has fun, all right? Chris, you came over to check on me? That's really nice of you. Do you think I could talk to you later?
You want to talk to Chris?
Yeah, I think I was singing a bit off key. Can you blame me for being distracted? In a normal route, after gathering the information, Susie comes up with the idea of approaching Noelle and pitching her the idea that we should all get together to work on our school
Poor Noelle.
For proper context, here is the lead-in to that decision, as it's presented on a normal route. Yeah, wait, now that I think about it.
God, the flashback music just...
And the front of their house...
The theme that haunts my nightmares.
Kind of like the holidays just got frozen in place. Maybe if we can sneak in there ourselves, we might be able to find a clue in there. And instead, the snow grave scene. The mayor is Noelle's mom, right? Maybe if we tried... Chris,
Noelle approaches them.
Would you want to come by my house and work on our projects after church?
So she's retained that confidence, huh?
Yeah.
I'm amazed that she's willing to go anywhere near Chris after that last cutscene in the hospital.
I'll, go bring my dad back to the hospital. Cool. That's, awesome. See you later. Too easy, right? Boom. Give me 5.
Oh, we're not high-fiving Susie. Oof.
What's up? You, got something against Noelle, Chris?
No, I love Noelle. I don't want these things to be happening, Noelle.
Took a weird route.
Oh, boo!
I mean, who'd expect she'd ask us like that? But we should be glad it's going so fast, right?
Yes, Peach, of course you can. One moment.
Right? Hey,
there you go.
How about some of the red stuff, no? Your loss. No, you're gonna want it later. Let's just go already. Toby, you maniac, just writing.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't just me.
And Chris wanting some of the red
Boo.
stuff. Ooh, the implications.
Oh.
And I think it's significant that Noelle interrupts this conversation precisely before Susie says, it's like the holidays got frozen in place. There's already so many clever things that play with that line. The holidays being frozen in place, and their family name is the Holidays. So both their decorations are frozen and themselves as a family emotionally mourning the loss of Des. But Toby knows what he's doing there. Having the snow grave route interrupt a mention of being frozen in place, it's very intentional. If you visit the hospital, your friend? He's still... Thank you for bringing him in yesterday. What? You want to go in by yourself? Whatever. Which we have.
He's in the hospital. I was right.
These years, Birdley did not die. He's just seemingly in a coma or.
I was right about something.
Real bad. He's breathing slowly. Might be your imagination, but he seems cold.
So, wait. The hospital attendant said, "Thank you for bringing him in yesterday." So Chris brought Birdley to the hospital? When?
He's breathing slowly, might be your imagination, but he seems more relaxed. You turn on the space heater to a higher setting.
Oh, so you can warm him up, huh? Okay.
When did... in there, right?
When did we...
Don't give me bird flu or whatever.
Oh, is that why Chris left the house? At the...
Going to the library.
Pause for a moment. So there is a brief moment at the end of chapter 2 where like cutscenes play at like one frame at a time. One frame is showing Chris opening up the front door, implying that they were going outside. So Chris left that night to go bring Birdley to the hospital? Why? I don't get it. I'm missing something.
Birdley will be working at the front desk.
Yeah, we saw that.
Here, the library is closed this weekend due to a lack of volunteers.
You hate to
When
see
you
it.
sit down on the couch to initiate your study session when Chris will sneak off and search around the house, this would normally be interrupted.
I'm just happy
by
I was right about
Birdley
something.
calling
Birdley
and
was in the
inviting
hospital.
Noelle to the festival. Noelle still receives a call to interrupt, but this time it instead comes from her mother.
Oh, really?
Hi, Mom, what's up? Yeah, I took Dad home, so it's just, me here. Huh? No problem. I can probably just cook something. Gosh, Mom, I'm not gonna burn myself. Okay, see you later tonight.
See you later tonight. Yeah, so she wasn't supposed to be home for a long time.
Wait. Huh? Don't we
More
need
evidence that
like,
Carol is the knight.
stuff? Like, paper, pencils, project stuff? Chris, you should, go look for it. Gosh, you're right, Susie. Chris, I think there was some stuff in my room, if you wanted to go look. Very smooth, Noelle. It is at this point that Chris would normally rip out the heart and go stash it in the gift room. In the snow grave route, they are interrupted. Chris, are you up there?
Oh, really?
Cramming it in the drawer.
Quick thinking there, Chris.
Chris, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just the two of us. If you don't mind, I mean. I'll be in my room, okay? Chris retrieves
she wants to
the
talk
heart
about it
and
yesterday,
then
huh?
goes and stashes it in the gift room, same as before. And
Yep,
while playing as the heart, we have an entirely new cutscene to spy on, making our way up and across over to Noelle's room. To be honest, I've kind of been waiting for a chance for us to be alone all day.
Mm-hmm.
There's something I want to talk to you about, Chris.
Yeah, about yesterday.
I want to talk to you about last night.
Last night? What happened last night? Did Chris see Noelle too? Oh God, not the flashback music!
Every time I closed my eyes, all I could see was snow. I was terrified, Chris. Terrified it was all real. I went out on the porch to breathe, and that's when I felt it. A hand on my wrist. I froze. And then I heard your voice. Chris's voice. You said,
What?
Sorry for taking your watch, Noelle. You said it was all a stupid prank. You said Birdley is going to get better. And you put the watch back on my wrist.
So Chris is trying to undo what we
Sorry for
did.
being weird at the hospital, Noelle. You said it was all a stupid prank. You said Birdley was going to get better.
So Chris took Birdley to the
Your
hospital,
voice, your
and then
mumbly voice. Even if you sounded
and then
kind of
tried
weak
to
and
help
shaky,
Noelle feel
I
better.
don't know why, but it felt so long since I heard it. I even
Chris is
started
actively
sniffling.
trying to undo what we did in the
Chris-
Snowgrave route.
Chris, you're back.
Oh, this is really interesting.
Chris, thank you. Well, no thanks for pranking me, but
Good job, Chris.
Chris, can I say something else?
No!
Presented with a dialogue choice. Your heart that had been up in the vent is now down in this menu, and when you select proceed,
Not again!
it stays down on the screen. You now have a limited window during this conversation to bring the heart back over to Chris. Noelle's eyes are closed, and she doesn't
Oh, we can
know-
repossess our own body?
Yes.
Sorry, guys. That legitimately scared me. Seeing proceed again.
Something else I have to ask
So we
you.
can repossess our own body? We've
After
never
you said
done
all
that.
You took my hand and
No, I'll get out of the room, girl.
One of
Get
my
out of the
fingers.
room. Don't be here
then
anymore.
You said
Oh,
you
Chris
said
is like
that when
trembling.
I saw you again. You said
Ah.
not to mention.
No,
you
I'll
did any
run.
of
Don't be here anymore.
it. Or you can see Chris's hand shaking and twitching here. Chris, it's okay. It's just us. You just said not to mention any of that because it'd get hurt.
Oh, God. Chris is trying so hard to protect her. Noel, get the hell out of the room.
Chris.
Retreat.
Chris,
Run. Chris, do
just
something.
us.
Rip us out again.
Who's going to hear?
Oh, don't like that. I don't like that. Nope.
Chris? Chris? Your
Oh,
voice.
God, no.
Chris, that's another joke, right? That voice.
Chris, do something. Rip us
my
out.
dream.
Stop this.
Because it wasn't a dream. Sorry.
Oh, the music. Oh, this is
What did you
horrendous.
say? I must have misheard you. No, there's no way they heard. There's no way they heard my thoughts. I heard.
Oh, God.
What are you talking about, Chris? I didn't say anything. It's impossible. That's impossible. It's just a coincidence. It's not a coincidence.
Noel, leave.
You can
Leave.
hear me. Say red or blue. Say green or black. Say it didn't happen. Say it didn't snow.
Oh, God, this is
You're lying.
You're
lying.
awful. No.
Noel becomes stronger.
Oh, I don't like that sound.
Chris? Chris, what did you say?
No.
Chris? Chris, what is that?
No.
Chris, that's not the thorn.
Not the thorn ring.
That's not the thorn ring.
Oh, God, not again.
Proceed.
No, I got goosebumps. I'm sweating. I hate this.
Still,
Deltarune is a horror game.
what about last night? What about... Didn't you want to protect
Oh,
me?
God, Noel, Chris does. Chris wants to protect you so bad. Chris, do something.
Why can't I move? Why can't I look away? Well, do something.
Chris, do something.
Equip.
No.
I really think, I mean, I think I need, gosh, I think I have to.
Oh, God, dude.
Equip. Chris? Now, interestingly, when
Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's so much worse. That is worse than anything that happened in Chapter 2.
It was a pretty cool effect, but it was getting commonly misinterpreted among the fandom, and a new animation was added a few days later, one that's a little bit more dramatic, looking closer to a red crack shattering across the screen. Everything fades to black.
God, dude.
Chris then stumbles into the bathroom. The camera is a blur. The lights are cutting in and out.
Oh, God.
Tossed in the trash can.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Smashing it repeatedly.
Oh,
With increasing
you know what?
aggression.
Justified crash out, but oh, God, Chris. Chris is pissed.
Asgore interrupts. Chris?
Damn, dude.
Chris, are you okay in there? Just thought I'd let you know. Mayor Carroll is asking everyone to leave. And, I thought you looked a little down today. So, I made a special treat for you. Your friend and I will be waiting for you outside with it. Feel better, Chris. The
Oh, they
heart
put us
is
back in?
retrieved,
Why?
you gain back control.
Why would you give us control after
You
that?
almost immediately stumble. There's nothing to be interacted with in this room, and as we leave, we're
Oh,
immediately
damn,
sent outside.
dude.
The winds are blowing loudly. Chris, how are you doing? Chris, if you aren't feeling your best, perhaps you should just go straight home and rest.
Oh, man, poor Chris. I feel
I
so
borrowed some
bad for them.
sweets
They
and
tried
made you a
so
hot
hard to
chocolate.
undo the
It's your
damage.
favorite.
We just made it
Marshmallows,
worse.
melted candy bars, and a little pinch of cinnamon spice. You got the hot chocolate.
Okay, so this blows
See
my
you
theory
around,
out of the
Chris.
water that Chris is not in control of their own actions. I always thought that, like, Chris was dual possessed, like possessed by us
Guess
and
we
by
can
another
go.
entity. But this tells me that Chris is in control of themselves to a degree. Chris is
So,
pissed.
hey,
And
while you were
understandably
keeping
so.
Noelle busy, I looked inside that room next door. There was this weird guitar in there, and on the inside of it, there was a code to the shelter. Didn't get to write it down, though. When I went to the living room with it, your dad caught me and started talking to me until...
Well, I mean, if that's
Noelle's
true,
mom
then
showed
what
up,
is,
super pissed.
what
Great.
caused
How are
Chris
we
to
gonna
be in
go
that
back
condition in the
there
first
now?
place?
Well, what the hell do we do now? Great. Now it's raining. At least your house is close. Let's go. We first head up to the house. Huh? Hey, the door's locked. Seriously? Ugh. You don't have a key?
No, do you?
Damn. Well, your mom's doing her choir practice, right? Guess we can go to church and bother her for it. Ugh.
Oh, man, my heart
head back
hurts
down
right
to
now.
town towards
Oh,
church.
God.
Damn. That whole thing was a disaster, huh?
Yeah, for
This is
real.
gonna sound
Oh, this
dumb,
was...
but
I didn't expect
you know what
this.
else kinda
This is
bites?
so... This
Didn't
is
even get to
awful.
hang out, really. All three of us, I mean. You know, Noelle said she wanted to talk to you, but something about her look was kind of weird. Why? Why couldn't she just talk to you in front of me? What were you two talking about? The screen is a soft pink, and there isn't really a choice on either side.
No,
matter
no,
what
no,
we
no,
do.
no, 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 no.
It wasn't about me, right? What? Fine. I won't bring it up again. And from there, the scene carries forward as it would in the normal route. Now I'll show off the handful of opportunities you have to abort this conversation.
All right, let's do it. Why
First,
not?
you can simply answer, please don't. I guess I shouldn't. I mean, I know you didn't say anything, but I guess let's just leave it at, I'm glad you're back. From here, you regain control of the heart and are free to move back around the house again. Next is after answering proceed, if you do not reclaim control of Chris and instead leave the heart out in the open. You said that when I saw you again. Chris, what are you? At which point,
Oh,
Chris
God,
grabs
drags
Noelle
her
and runs
away.
out of the room with her. If you make for the door, Chris returns, and for any of these, the heart gets tossed back into the gift, and you can again move through the vents. There's something unsettling about being able to see Chris's teeth here. It is the only time in the game
God,
so
Chris
far
is
that
so
we really
scared.
have
He
any
wants-
expression
God.
on Chris's face
Oh,
other than the neutral
Chris.
one that's really
They're trying
obvious.
so hard to protect
From
Noelle.
here,
This
it's a matter of
hurts.
choosing any dialogue option that spares Noelle from hearing the truth.
Yeah, I'm sure
Starting
ripping us
with
out
who's
of
going
Chris
to
is
hear,
painful, but
not responding.
why would Chris put us back in after this?
Chris, you can't fool me. This had to be your worst prank ever. Never do something like that again, okay? Which, while we're looking at it, this response finally gives context to that page in the Spamton Silence ARG. Having M and E over and over and over again,
It
is just meant to be me. You can cut things off by saying it was a joke. Then don't scare me like that anymore. Sorry, Chris. Let's get back to doing our projects, okay? In response to hearing Noelle's thoughts, sorry, just a prank. Which
Justified
gets
smack.
The same response as the previous claim of it being a joke. From this point on, there aren't actual choices. They'll both say proceed, or both equip, or both answers satisfy what Noelle is asking, locking you into this next stage of the Snowgrave route. The moment Chris
this hurts my
grabs
heart.
Noelle's hand, you can see the color of her pupils change, and she goes stiff as a board. Honestly, after 4 chapters, I might need to make a video entirely on eyes. The amount of references made to eyes across this game so far is crazy. The remainder of the differences take place in Chapter 4's Dark World, presenting those in the order you encounter them in. When Susie and Ralsei split off from the group searching for Gerson's study. Now, what do you think? Where do we go? No wrong answer. Nowhere. Nowhere, eh? I'm sure you'll get there eventually. So, what's the rush? And the Snowgrave alternate? Nowhere. Your words just now's got a peculiar ring to them. I can tell. You're having some relationship trouble, ain't you? I've seen it all, you know. At your age, if things go cold, you might think your whole world's ended. But you know, things go on.
And things go cold. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it.
Everything will be all right, sooner or later.
Oh, man.
Similar to the way Gerson
Sorry, I'm still reeling.
Us through the main chapter, presenting the idea that maybe prophecies aren't locked in and we can be the masters of our own destiny. Here, speaking to when the world goes cold, he's seemingly reinforcing that all might not be lost through the Snowgrave route either, that there is perhaps still hope. Sticking with Gerson a little later in the chapter when we have our tea party, in a normal route, he asks Chris to close their eyes and drops an extra lump of sugar into their tea. The Snowgrave route
Let me get an
has
extra
a bunch of additional
ice cubes.
dialogue for this scene. You're really just going through the motions, huh? Something tough's going on with you. I can tell that sort of thing. And now, you still gotta go through your day. Still gotta talk, fight, do homework. I bet it all feels pointless, don't it? It's almost an insult that the Earth's still turning. But don't give up, even if you gotta do those motions. Trying to find something, anything in them, that means a little something. You hear? The sugar is added, and same as the main route, we have the choice of whether or not to drink it. First, choosing not to drink on a normal route. Well, if tea's not your fancy, how about shine? How about an apple? You heard something being placed in front of you. Chris, here, I'll help. Here, I'm holding it in front of your teeth lurched forward to bite the apple. A sweet sensation spread through your mouth.
Apple!
That's right. Just take a bite, Chris. Each time you felt a new piece of the apple, your teeth would bite it.
Just open your eyes, dude.
Until nothing was left but the core.
Is this whole thing an analogy for Chris?
Huh. When did the old man leave? Anyway,
Just
let's
more,
go,
just
Chris.
we consume more
You
and
can see
more
the
of
apple
Noelle
core left on the table
until there's like
and now
just a shell
choosing
left.
Not to drink and a Snowgrave. Starting from the moment your teeth
Oh, that wasn't the
lurched
Snowgrave.
forward to bite the apple. A sweet sensation spread through your mouth. That's right. Just take a bite, Chris. Ah, Chris, don't eat so fast. Chris, don't eat the... Your teeth clenched into something small and hard. Crack! A bitter taste spread through your mouth. Don't eat the core, Chris. you felt a handkerchief wiping your face. Chris, you can, open your eyes, you know. And from here, the scene continues, this time, obviously, with no apple core left. I think likely representing the idea
for the apple
of using something
the apple
up in
core,
its
Jesus, the
entirety,
apple
spending
core.
its body or flesh all the way down through its core. Later in the Dark World, when Susie goes off on her own, at a time when we would normally stop and think what Susie might be up to. Chris,
We're not going to do it
rather
again?
than following her, why don't we just close our eyes and think about what she might be doing in there? Seems unnecessary? Huh? But, you know, Susie might want to be... It might be nice if she had this chance to... Perhaps if you just closed them for a moment? Don't. Perhaps if you just closed your eyes in general, maybe we could think of someone else? Normally, you either skip it entirely or can think of the night. On the Snowgrave route, you have the added option.
No!
The screen fades to black. Ralsei begins to walk away. There is a lone red pixel on the screen. And in a shaky voice. Thank you.
What?
A flash of red. Chris, hey Chris, you okay? You were just standing there with your eyes closed. Then you just started breathing hard and... Here, get up. Ralsei, where the heck were you? Huh? I got the puzzle solution. Let's just go. This, of course, makes me think of the page seen in the Spampton's Silence ARG, deltarune.com/chapter4/thank-you. This was the one where people were originally able to submit their email and the guess of a specific number, but now only reads thank you. The thank you page was also the one that was found through the me clue, tying these things all together just in a way we don't fully see yet. When looking at the shelf of candles in a normal route and choosing to pray for Noelle, you loosely joined your hands and mumbled the name of her father. Yeah, I hope he gets better too.
Aww.
And on the Snowgrave route, if you choose Noelle,
Whoa!
Chris kicks the display. Hey, Chris, don't! Look, I like breaking stuff too, but your name's on here too, idiot. When inspecting the keyboard in the church office, Susie compliments Chris on their piano playing. In response to Susie's story, on a normal route, if you say, "I'll never play again." Huh? What did you say? You were coughing. You shouldn't be afraid to play. You can actually do
Chris
it.
was fighting us on that one, huh?
Instead, on the Snowgrave route... Hey, Chris! What happened? You started saying something. Then you, bit the hell out of your hand.
Why?
That's gonna bruise. Damn, I shouldn't have told that story. Forget it. Towards the very end of the chapter, after Susie has run off and
I'm really confused. Why?
In the normal route,
Why did Chris do that?
and Ralsei are sat together in an embrace, and Ralsei confides how difficult it's been to keep these secrets. The more I'm with you, the more I realize friendship isn't just about being happy all the time. It's something far, far greater than I could have imagined. I want to believe again. I want to believe it can change. That there isn't just one ending. Susie's hope, her naive hope. It's infectious, isn't it, Chris? So, till we see fate with our own eyes, let's believe too. And instead here, I want to believe again. I want to believe it can change, that there isn't just one ending. But what would that be? If there was something else, what would it be? And how do we know it wouldn't be something even worse? Chris?
Oh my.
Never mind. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Chris, you can go to the fountain now. Susie's waiting. And at the very end of the chapter, instead of those closing moments with Chris climbing their way out the window, they instead receive a phone call from Carol. Chris.
Oh, really?
Then I'll just leave a message.
Oh, just like the neutral inching of Undertale, but this is...
You are going to the festival.
This isn't like the voice we
you?
normally hear when Chris is on the phone.
I just wanted to confirm. Noelle said she's really looking forward to seeing you. Everything cuts to black.
Dear
and the
God.
Red pixel first
No, not again.
in Silence ARG fades into view. This continuation of the Snowgrave route isn't nearly as involved as what we saw in Chapter 2.
Oh, we're gonna get more.
The idea of
God.
that we need to repeatedly insist on committing.
That's basically the end. Oh, man, dude. But that last bit really gives food for thought for me. Hang on, because I've been pretty sold on Carol being the knight. You know, and a lot of it has been circumstantial, I will admit. You know, the knight's sword is identical to Carol's katana. You know, Chris makes a phone call to somebody saying that Susie can't get a hold of that guitar, and Carol rushes home when she's not supposed to be back that early. The dark world gets opened up in the church. It definitely couldn't have been Chris because we were in control of Chris that entire time since leaving the church. So they definitely didn't open it. City Hall is right next door. So Carol had the location, opportunity. And most importantly, we learned motive. We learned in chapter 4 that the dark worlds can bring people back from the dead. Under the right circumstances, yes, but they can't do it. So that's Carol's motive, bring Des back. I was willing to bet that something happened in the shelter that caused Des to die. And that's why there's currently a dark world in the shelter. Carol and Chris are trying to bring her back in the dark world. That was my theory. But the voice that Chris hears when they call in the normal route, that was different than the voice we heard from Carol just now. So, oh man, I don't know. Maybe it's not Carol after all. Maybe it really is Des, but if it is, then why? Oh man, I am so confused. I feel like I'm missing a really big piece of this puzzle right now. Because if Des is the knight, you know, let's just examine that timeline. If Des is the knight, you know, let's say Chris, that there's been a lot of theory about Chris when, you know, because there was that talk about Chris with that one cat monster whose name I can never remember, participating in a demon summoning ritual. And that could be a red herring, but we have heard about demons before in regards to in the Toby Fox verse, right? There's one time we hear about a demon in Undertale. The demon who comes when you call its name, Kara. So what if Kara, who has come back from the dead, what if Chris summoned Kara to trying to find a way to bring Des back? Just what if Chris was actually responsible for Des's death or felt responsible for Des's death? So they summon a demon trying to find a way to bring Des back, which gets Chris the knowledge they need. They go down into in there and they he makes a dark world. I shouldn't say he. Chris makes a dark world in the shelter and Des comes back. So then I don't know what Des's motivation would be. Maybe they have no motivation. Maybe it's not actually Des, because we also learned that you need a specific darkness to bring that monster back. Like, Gerson was there. Gerson was dead. But then when Susie made Dark World to try and talk to Gerson, we didn't get that. We got something else. So maybe that isn't actually Des, but it's something adjacent to Des. Or maybe it's just like the form of Des being possessed by this demon that Chris tried to summon. Again, the demon summoning thing could be a complete red herring. We don't know. But this whole thing threw two of my theories into absolute chaos. Number one was that I believed that Chris was double possessed. That we possessed them and then someone else possessing them. I originally thought it was the Knight, but that obviously turned out to be wrong because we've seen the Knight. So they're obviously not doing it. Excuse me. But seeing that crash out Chris had in the bathroom tells me that Chris is in full control. Well, I shouldn't say full control, but they are, besides us, it's just them in the building. What I don't understand is why they would give us back control after that cutscene. Chris is clearly not on board with what we've tried to do with Noelle and Birdley. For whatever reason, whatever Chris's motivation is, they are not down for this Snowgrave route nonsense, and I don't blame them. So they spent that entire night trying to undo the damage we did. And then we just made it even worse, potentially. And Chris had a crash out, but why would they give us control again? What is the motive here? What purpose are we meant to serve? I originally thought, before playing Chapter 3 and 4, that they were creating dark fountains not for the fountains themselves, but for the darkeners that emerge from the fountains. That's what I thought that the villains needed. But that's obviously not the case. So I have no idea. And Carol being on the phone as a separate voice from what we heard with Chris talking in the normal route suggests that she isn't the Knight. She's definitely on board with whatever they're doing. She's definitely an accomplice. But she may not actually be the Knight. I mean, maybe it's Des. I don't know. I don't know what the motivation is. I don't know. I'm confused. Let's go back here. There we go. Yeah, I got no idea what's going on. Unfortunately, we won't have to wait that long. You just have to wait until next year sometime. Ugh. Yeah, that whole cutscene with Noelle is just awful. It's like the worst thing ever. I hate it. Ugh. I wonder... So, apparently the fans were, like, misinterpreting that Rose animation. I wonder what they were saying about it that caused Toby to change it. I mean, it seemed pretty fitting to me. I don't know, guys. I'm flummoxed right now. I'm flummoxed. I'm shaken. I don't know what's going on. Everything I ever thought I knew has been thrown into chaos. I got nothing. But there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm missing a huge piece of this puzzle that's gonna make everything make sense. But like, I keep hitting, like, any theory I come up with just keeps hitting this wall pertaining to motive. What? Yeah, very much chaos. But like, I don't know what would be the motivation of the Knight. I don't know what would be the motivation of Chris. Because clearly Chris is wanting this to happen, at least in a certain way, They have a motivation for doing this, and they have a motivation for putting us back in and giving us control. But what is it? What does Chris want? I'm not getting it. Why do they need us? And what is the motivation of the Knight? If Carol isn't the Knight, then from my perspective, the Knight has no motivation to be doing this. My whole thing with Carol is that, yeah, she wants to bring her daughter back. She wants to keep everything safe. That's why she keeps everything at home. But she knows that, or at least I would assume that she knows with the prophecy, that if she brings about these dark worlds, then the world is going to be screwed. So she creates a dark fountain in the shelter, hoping to keep the revived Des and her family safe. And she's going after people like Undyne and Toriel, who also have the code to the shelter, so that nobody else can get in and ruin her plans. And then you have... I don't know. I don't know anymore. And I don't know where... I don't know what the other plan is. I've seen this one image going around that I don't know if it's like from the ARG or if it's somewhere in the game files, but there's this Deltarune image going around. It is the numbers 2, 4, and 5 in these like various font sizes, with 2 being really big, 4 being pretty small, and then 5 being like a medium size, and then nothing else. And how people are interpreting that is, you know, so 5 will have Snowgrave route stuff, but nothing for 6 and 7. Some people just think that's like the bad end. Let me see if I can find that, actually. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. There it is. Hold on. Let me go back. So yeah, this has been floating around quite a bit. And yeah, it's apparently from like the Deltarune site. So it's literally just oh, things are going good, Master Flank. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, so we see 2 being really big, 4 being pretty small, and 5 being like a medium, but nothing else. And this is in relation. You can't. Let me move this a little bit. Hold on. That's it. Nope. Hold on. So you can see deltarune.com/chapter5. And so what people are saying is that this is in relation to Snowgrave stuff, because there's nothing in chapter 1, a lot of stuff in chapter 2. See my mouse? Why can't you see my mouse? So yeah, there's Snowgrave stuff in chapter 2, nothing in chapter 3, a little bit in chapter 4, and presumably some in chapter 5. If there's something else hidden, nobody's posted about it yet. But if you click on these numbers on the site, you apparently like hear music. Let me see if that still works. Hold on a moment. Deltarune.com/chapter5. Yeah, okay. So boom. All right, so I am on the website directly. Let me pause the music real quick. Yeah, so you hear music, and this is from the cutscene with Birdley before you cast Snowgrave. And then we go over here. There's that red pixel. There's that red pixel here. Which I can click on, but nothing else really seems to happen. Yeah, there's that red pixel from that cutscene where we give her back the thorn ring. Isn't it lovely? I'm not seeing anything else. I'm looking through the see here. Okay, there's like an audio file. Audio file. They all go to the same one. Yeah, they all seem to go to like E. Oh, there's like hold on, there's also like an M here. Hold on. I'm just gonna take a time here. A moment. Yeah, hold on. Let's go with M. All right, so there's an E and an M. Oh, me. Yeah. Okay, fine. Fair. There's that. And then click on this. Whoever that means. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you there. I don't know. Bad End Festival music. I got no idea. Let's see here. Is there anything else I'm missing here? I don't think so. I think there's only like M and E. Just in case, let me double check real quick. Yeah, M and E. Yep. So, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, very spooky. I have no idea how much bird I have. One bird. I should at some point get that bird a sibling. But, yeah. Oh, man. Bloody hell. So, yeah, nobody truly knows what this means, but... Did this get bigger? See, what's the size of this? Hold on. Oh, it has a slow fade in. Okay, guys. So it's not like it got bigger. It just became more visible. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Well played, Toby Fox. Who knows? No, I'm sure it's a clue, but we don't have the context. So, like, yeah, we have these, but we don't know what they mean. So, yeah. We'll just have to wait until next year, but it looks like Chapter 5 is going to be a big deal for this route. We can see that there's more content than there is for Chapter 4, and Chapter 4 was already horrific, but not as much as Chapter 2. But a lot of people, because they don't see a Chapter 6 or 7, they're interpreting that as, like, this is the end of the game if you play the Snowgrave route. Like, you just get, like, the bad end. That's the theory, anyway. But we currently have no idea. I sure as hell don't know. I'm flummoxed right now. Go back. Yeah, I am flummoxed. I am afraid. I worry for Noelle. Man. That was rough. Gonna be honest, that was a rough one. I didn't expect all that. Sheesh. Yeah. Man, what are we trying to do in Noelle here? Why is Noelle so powerful? Like, yeah, we make Noelle strong, sure. I mean, why not? But man, what is it about Noelle? Why is Noelle so special, and why are we doing all this? I don't get it. Oh man. I guess I'll have to find out. Is Flowery Demon? I don't know. I don't think so. The only demon we know about is Kara. The demon who comes when you call its name. Oh boy. It's gonna be a whole thing, lads. . 2026 can't come fast enough. I need answers. Oh well. Unfortunately, we're not going to get them. I know there are a few Easter eggs and such like that that I haven't covered, but they're not really that relevant to what we're talking about here, as far as I know. So, I mean, man, we've basically got all the answers that we can hope to get for the time being, until Toby decides to grace us with more. Sometime in 2026. Maybe 1 year from today, or maybe slightly more than 1 year from today. Toby, please. Toby, don't do this. Oh, man. Yeah, Deltarune is a trip. I am very happy with Chapter 3 and 4. And I introduced my favorite boss fight, Gerson. Gerson's boss fight was amazing. I love that so much. Well, we're finally going to leave Deltarune behind, lads, until next year. We return to our regularly scheduled program. Yeah. That is gonna do it for today. A bit of a shorter stream today, just to react to some of the stuff that we missed, but gives us all food for thought. I'm sure we'll talk more about Deltarune in the future just chatting streams as well. But don't forget to tune into twitch.com's Silverheart and show her some birthday support tomorrow and Saturday. I will not be streaming, but I will be on her stream. So if you miss me, you can come see me on Twitch on her channel. Let's see here. Speaking of Twitch, is there anyone online right now that we can raid? Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, Rain is streaming. Okay. It'll be all right. Like I said, I will still be I will still be around. You can see me on Twitch. Don't you worry. And I'll be back on Sunday with our regularly scheduled stuff. I know Silver would not mind if I were to stream my POV on my channel. It just I'm not okay with it. You know, it's her birthday and the attention should be on her, not on me. So I'd much prefer if you guys go and support her channel on tomorrow and Saturday. So yeah, so I think we're going to raid good old Rain here. They're playing. What are they playing? They are playing some Skyrim. Rain does love his Skyrim. So yeah, I think we'll do that. I think Rain raided us last time, so it's only fair. Rain does. Nope, stop. Accidentally playing my own audio. They're not interested in my own audio. I can hear that just fine for myself. Thank you. Well then. Anyway. Time to wrap things up for today. Thank you for joining me in our continued Deltarune adventures into horrifying things. And if you're interested in joining the raid from YouTube, I'll be posting the link in the YouTube chat so you can come along and join us. And if you're new here and you find this channel interesting, we play all sorts of games, mostly Project Moon, if I'm fair, but yeah, we have a good time. You can follow me on social media, links down below, as well as our community Discord server. We have a great time in there. And you can find the schedule posted on social media as well and come back for more. Follow me and subscribe to my YouTube and all that good stuff. Thank you, Peach. Yeah, we have played Repo before and maybe one day we'll play again. Who knows? Not me. That's in the future. But it's time to set up that raid. So I will bid you all good night, my lovely pigeons. I will see you in the near future. Let me set up this raid real quick before I do that. And yeah, there we go. All right, we're gonna get the raid set up. If you'd like to participate, I'm gonna post a link in the YouTube chat as well. I will see you all next time, pigeons. Love y'all. Take care.